I never imagined getting lost in the woods could feel like stepping into another world. The deeper I walked, the thicker the trees grew, their twisted branches clawing at my jacket, scratching my arms. My flashlight flickered, casting trembling beams across the endless darkness. Every rustle in the underbrush made my heart leap. Was it the wind, an animal, or something else watching me? Shadows danced between the trunks, moving with a strange purpose, almost alive. As the last sunlight faded, panic crept in, cold and suffocating. And then I saw it, a faint light flickering between the trees, small but steady, like a candle defying the night. My chest tightened with hope and fear. Shelter on a trap. I pushed forward, thorns tearing at my clothes, until I stumbled into a clearing. There it stood, a small wooden house, silent and alone, yet somehow alive, its presence both inviting and menacing. Before I continue, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss stories like this one. I hesitated at the door, hand trembling as I raised it to knock. The moments stretched, every creak of the wooden steps around me, echoing in the still night. Then the door slowly opened, and a man appeared. At first glance, he seemed kind. Soft eyes, a polite smile, voice gentle. "Come in, you must be freezing," he said. Relief and suspicion tangled in my chest. Inside, the air smelled of old wood, faintly sweet, like vanilla and dust. Shadows clung to the corners, flickering as a single lamp swayed. He closed the door behind me with a soft, deliberate thud. That smile, once comforting, now carried a hint of calculation, something hidden. "Make yourself comfortable," he said. My instincts screamed that the house was more than it seemed, and that every friendly gesture here might be hiding a trap. He led me into a narrow hallway, dimly lit by a single swinging lamp. The air smelled faintly of old books and wax, mixed with something I couldn't identify. From the shadows, 2 children appeared. The girl, pale and silent, watched me with piercing dark eyes that seemed far too old for her young face. She didn't speak or smile, only studied me, her gaze sharp and unreadable. My stomach tightened. Beside her, a boy stepped forward, wearing a bright, welcoming grin. "Hi there," he said, voice cheerful, but with an edge I couldn't ignore. His movements were deliberate, almost too perfect, as if he knew exactly how to unsettle me. I realized then that appearances were deceiving. The girl's warning, the boy's charm, they were part of a puzzle I had yet to understand, and the house's secrets seemed to pulse with a life of their own. The living room was small and cluttered, a jumble of old furniture, dusty books, and strange trinkets that seemed to watch me from the corners. A single lamp flickered, throwing long, twitching shadows that danced across the walls. Every creak of the floor made me flinch, each whisper of the wind against the windows sounding like a warning. My heart pounded as I tried to piece together the reality of this place. Family photos hung crookedly. The smiles frozen, but the eyes seemed to follow me, almost mocking. A clock ticked loudly, each second dragging out the tension. I realized with a sinking feeling that this house wasn't just a refuge, it was a stage, and I was the newest character in a story I didn't understand. Every friendly gesture, every shadow, every soft sound, hinted at danger lurking just beneath the surface. Later that night, I couldn't sleep, my mind racing with every shadow in the room. A faint scratching echoed from the floor above, followed by a soft thud from below. I froze, heart hammering, listening intently. Was it just the house settling? Or something moving in the darkness? Something aware of me? Curiosity gnawed at my fear. I crept toward a narrow door leading to the basement, each step echoing ominously. The stairs were steep, the air colder, a smell of damp earth and decay stronger with every step. In the far corner, I found a small bundle, clothes maybe, or papers, but the sense of unease made my skin prickle. Whoever had been here before me had left traces, warnings perhaps, and the realization hit me. This house held secrets darker than I could imagine, and I might be next. Back in the dim living room, I found the girl sitting by the window, motionless. Her eyes, dark and penetrating, seemed to see far beyond the room, beyond me. I tried to speak, to ask something simple, but she only shook her head slightly, lips pressed tight, warning me without words. Then, in a whisper that barely carried over the flickering shadows, she said, "You shouldn't trust him, not yet." My chest tightened, fear and curiosity warring inside me. "Who? The man?" I asked. Voice trembling, she nodded, eyes flicking toward the boy, then back to me, her silent warning clear. I realized she might be my only ally here, but only if I could decipher her cryptic hints before it was too late. The house seemed to listen, waiting for me to make a mistake. At first, the boy seemed harmless, smiling, playful, almost endearing. But as the night wore on, his behavior shifted. His jokes turned sharper, the sweetness in his voice slipping into something colder, almost cruel. His eyes glinted with a darkness I hadn't noticed before, watching my every move with unnerving precision. "You think you can stay here forever?" he asked suddenly, voice bright yet chilling. My stomach dropped. The warmth I had felt earlier vanished instantly. I realized that his charm was a mask, a careful act to disarm me. Shadows in the corners seemed to stretch toward me, feeding on my unease. I knew then that the danger in this house wasn't just the man, it was the children too, each hiding something I was only beginning to understand. Fear and curiosity gnawed at me all night. The girl's warning echoed in my mind, and I couldn't ignore the feeling that answers might be hidden somewhere in the house. My eyes fell on a narrow basement door, slightly ajar, shadows flickering beneath it. Every instinct screamed danger, but I had to know what the man was hiding and maybe find a way to escape. With trembling hands, I descended the stairs, cold air biting at my skin. The basement smelled of damp earth and decay. Thick and suffocating, in the far corner, I discovered remnants of previous visitors, worn shoes, faded clothes, and a tattered notebook filled with frantic, desperate scribbles. The realization hit me. I wasn't the first, and I might not be the last. Shadows seemed to whisper, pressing the weight of the house against me. The man appeared suddenly at the top of the basement stairs, his worn smile gone, replaced by a cold, calculating glare. "Curiosity can be dangerous," he said, voice low and sharp. "Some doors are better left closed." I stumbled back, fear clawing at me as the full picture came into focus. The girl's warnings, the boy's cruel games, They were all part of his control. He stepped closer, shadows stretching across the walls like fingers. Every friendly gesture, every polite word I had trusted, now felt like a trap. My mind raced for an escape, but the house seemed alive, listening, waiting. He wasn't just a man, he was a predator, and I was trapped inside his meticulously orchestrated nightmare. I waited for the perfect moment, heart pounding as the man's shadow loomed above. The girl appeared silently, her dark eyes locking with mine. She pointed toward a narrow side door I hadn't noticed before. "This way," she whispered, urgency in her tone. Relief and fear tangled in my chest. I had a chance, but it would be dangerous. We slipped through the dim hallways, shadows swallowing our small forms. The boy's eerie laughter echoed faintly behind us, chilling me to the bone. Somewhere deep in the house, the man's voice rumbled, low and threatening, warning us we wouldn't leave easily. Every step felt like a risk, but the girl guided me, fearless and precise. With every turn, hope surged, but so did the tension. And I knew that one wrong move could trap us forever in the house's twisted grasp. We burst through the side door into the cold night, lungs burning, branches clawing at our faces. The girl held my hand tightly, guiding me through the darkness. Every step a mix of fear and hope. Behind us, the boy's scream echoed, chilling me to the core, and the man's voice rumbled, low and threatening. We didn't stop until the first light of dawn broke through the trees. I glanced back once. The house was gone, swallowed by shadows, as if it had never existed. All survived, but the memory of that night, the man and the children will haunt me forever. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. What kind of stories would you like to see next on this channel?